Salute, people. It is Tony the Savant back again. And before we get started, please like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. As well, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel as I drop content daily, go live daily. Stay very busy on the platform. And last but not least, if y'all don't mind, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section so we can have some dialogue. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I've been uh, I've been bombing on the LeBron James and the Bronny Senior fan club. I wanted to kind of fall back from it, man, because there's plenty of stuff to bomb on. But I wanted to get back to my roots and talk a little Michael Jordan. As this, as you think you know everything about this dude, at least in my case, growing up in Chicago, and you know what I mean, being able to uh, have a first-hand seat to the Michael Jordan greatness. I was watching, not watch. Well, yeah, I was watching this interview with Dominique Wilkins, and Buddy dropped a story that I was not aware of, um, and I wanted to share it with y'all. So in an interview, uh, they was asking Dominique about the classic dunk contest, 1988, I think it was, between him and Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? It came down, I believe, to the wire, down to the last dunk, and segueing away from that story, uh, Dominique Wilkins tells this one story about a game that the Chicago Bulls had against the Atlanta Hawks. And the Atlanta Hawks were at home, and so, everybody's going through their routines, uh, doing the home cooking stuff. When you're at the crib, it's a little different than you are when you're on the road. They're a lot more comfortable. And Dominique Wilkins said while he was in the locker room with his team, Michael Jordan comes in the locker room, bro, just violating all protocol and policy. He comes into the locker room, and this is around the time when the Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks was really battling. The Atlanta Hawks was one of the more formidable teams in the East, led by Dominique Wilkins, of course. And Dominique Wilkins says that Michael Jordan, while in his full suit. Like Buddy ain't even warmed up. He ain't even changed into his uniform or his or his sweatsuit. The jog suit and all that stuff. He comes into the Atlanta Hawks locker room, fresh off the his team bus, the Chicago Bulls team bus. As again, the Chicago Bulls was on the road, and he goes into the locker room and tells Dominique Wilkins, and I forget who the gentleman was that was guarding him that night, that it's going to be a long night for y'all. And proceeded to drop 60 points. And I was just wanting to share this story, man, because nowadays I guess I'm getting older and I'm really starting to have an appreciation for, the legends in the game, and really, it's kind of like the disdain for the current era that makes you really miss these dudes, because we ain't never heard a story like this about no James Harden or even LeBron. The modern day dudes. Maybe the closest is Steph. Steph got a couple stories, but this is really on court. You know what I mean? Like when you start talking crazy to Steph, Paul George told a story. Iman Shumpert had a story. I know Dylan Brooks gonna be eventually, when his playing days are nearing to an end, or even if he started a podcast, you know what I mean. He gonna have a Steph story for sure. I remember a Pacific game where he started mouthing off at Steph. And yeah, I believe it was around, he was mouthing off his Steph in the first half. Steph was having a bad shooting night. Second half, Steph came out and cooked him. Just cooked him something nice. Ended up dropping, I believe, like 27 points in the second half. But, when you hear these Michael Jordan stories, because this ain't the only story that I've heard, where Michael Jordan ran up on the op and let him know, look, bro, you know what I'm saying? For some reason, whatever reason, Michael Jordan was motivated that night. He was pissed off. And it was going to be a bad night for whoever was guarding him. And so much so, this man was so competitive and so bold that he would walk up on you pregame before anything happened while the score was still 0-0 and proceed to drop buckets on your dome top. And I just love this because I like to share these kind of stories because this is the era I'm from. This is what I'm cut from. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking crazy, this is what I mean because not only do I talk it, person have to confirm. Sorry about that. Y'all reading the email. But nonetheless, the era I come from. So when I'm talking crazy and talking greasy, uh, you know what I mean? I backs it up because my mentors are the guys that I learned from. But I just thought that was a super dope story, man, because it's also a story that I haven't heard. And again, you think I've heard, I thought I heard everything about Michael Jordan. And, uh, and shout out to Dominique Wilkins, one of the greatest dunkers in the game as well. Probably the best Atlanta Hawk player, to go to that franchise easily. But really enjoyed that story because it just shines light on, what the NBA used to be, what sports used to be. It used to actually be competitive. Now it's all entertainment. You know what I mean? Everybody's friends. You know what I mean? I've heard several stories of LeBron James agreeing with his peers. Like, look, man, you go ahead and get your 40. I'm gonna do my thing and woo woo woo. You know what I'm saying? Like just eliminating all intensity and competitiveness from the game. Hella annoying, really, for me. But again, you coming from that old school, that dog mentality, from that mentality of I don't want to join you, I want to beat you. You know what I mean? And I just really appreciate that. But I'm gonna be sharing little random stories like this from time to time because I'm really hitting the archives. About to start dropping some documentaries and really get into the history books because I notice today's fans don't really have an appreciation or a knowledge of the game. You know what I mean? Like the past generations. You know what I mean? They just kind of run with we done with the 90s, we done with the 80s type shit. And it's like, bro, y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. You don't even know what you're saying right now. You talking about you done with the best era of the sport that you quote unquote love and watch and all that kind of stuff. Like it's asinine, it's damn near hypocritical. But you know what I mean. Getting back to the basics, getting back to the roots. Because man, how many athletes do you hear nowadays? And not even that. I don't know if I mentioned this, but he dropped 60 on the Atlanta Hawks that night. Not a 30 burger, not a 40, not a 50, 60 points. And Dominique Wilkins, man, he was just telling that story. He was pissed off that night. It's kind of like that hindsight kind of story you tell where you pissed off in the moment, but you look back and you can really be like, damn, it was something wrong with this dude. It was really something wrong with this dude to walk into the opponent's locker room, look at everybody in their eyes, and tell them it's about to be a bad night for y'all. And then not just that, just set the temperature like that. Because at this point, you're talking about all professional athletes. Everybody in the NBA, it's the cream of the crop. You know what I mean? It's the best of the best from college or around the world, Europe. You know what I mean? So it's the same time you walk into the room with dudes that's equally talented as you. Well, at least at that time we thought, that people it was equal to Michael Jordan. History has written, history has been written and shown that nobody, past, present, or modern day, I would say this past, present, or potentially in the future is what I meant to say, will ever match Michael Jordan's competitiveness, his talent, his skill, and that's why it just makes that whole GOAT debate stuff. It's just entertainment. You know what I mean? When people be trying to run up and say this guy or that guy is better than Jordan, it's just all for entertainment. It's just all to keep the conversation going. Because at the end of the day, ain't none of these fools did or doing what Michael Jordan, accomplished. But I just want to share that story real quick, man. We about to get back to work, getting prepared for some fantasy football streams. Shout out to Dominique Wilkins, man, one of my favorite players in NBA history. About to go rewatch that 1988 dunk contest too. You know what I'm saying? Just for nostalgic purposes. Cats really wasn't getting crazy on their dunks back then, but still, that was the first time we seen dudes doing those kind of dunks. So I might even do a video on that, man. We might, break that whole dunk contest down. But again, shout out to Dominique Wilkins. If y'all don't mind, like this video, share this video, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel. And if you don't mind, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Are you a Michael Jordan fan? Do you got a Michael Jordan story that you know and love? And drop it in the comment section, man, so I can do a little research into it, and uh, we can highlight that as well. Because again, I'm sitting here as a 35-year-old man thinking I've heard everything, seen everything, read everything about Michael Jordan. You know, I done read his autobiographies. I done read and watched all the documentaries from The Last Dance to the ones of old. I remember the first Michael Jordan documentary I seen. I can't recall what it was called, but we were on the class field trip, bro. This is how the Bulls were rock stars when I was kids. You understand? We didn't need musicians. We didn't need comic book characters and all that stuff. My generation in the South Side of Chicago, my peer group, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Phil Jackson, they was the rock stars. So I remember went on a field trip to go to the IMAX theater in downtown Chicago, and we watched a documentary about Michael Jordan and the Bulls. And you know what I mean? It just makes me really miss those days, man. Just damn, you know what I mean? You get older, you looking around, I'm starting to sound like those bitter old men. Be like, well, my generation. But nonetheless, man, y'all drop Michael Jordan story that you know and love in the comment section. We'll highlight that in the next videos. It is your boy Tony the Savant. Peace.